Hold that for just 1 second.
Gotcha.
What'd you say?
I said people still adding me from Afrotech. This is wild.
Salute and congratulations. How does that shit been working? How did that motherfucker? Boy, man, I've never been like, hey Lord, if you could just make me a speck on this person's cheek so I can live the life that they're living. I want to be one of those luxurious hair follicles. Just walking.
Let me tell you what the real I'll tell you what the real hack is, bro. Afrotech, real talk. Now, I'm talking to a veteran of Afrotech. If nobody knows, Trey has already frequented Afrotech.
It was in a whole different city. This is you got a Texas Tech, Texas Afrotech. Texas is a different black from.
Would you like to know where 2024 is?
Oh, I saw. I'm already registered. I'm immensely.
I'm so excited, bro. I'm so excited.
I saw that shit and got on the whole diet, bro. Oh Afrotech 2020 in Houston.
Houston, Texas. It's gonna be nuts. You think they're gonna be able to fit everything in one place?
My wife got to come just to beat these. I will take part of none of the debauchery that's happening there.
Well,
I mean, can I be honest with you?
Sure, go ahead. Might as well.
I get it. Like Afrotech and Awesome was cool, but that was more of the tech than the Afro. Afrotech in Houston is definitely more Afro than the tech. The funny part about it is like I'm not even gonna be in none of the shenanigans. I'm just like, man. It's like,
and they say it's gonna be cheaper. They aiming for 50 to 100,000. Trey. They trying to turn it into essence, bro.
It's gonna be a lot of shit going on, and I'm for it. I'm for it. Because it's just such a good time. And you bring all those people, again, nobody seems to understand what the fuck happens when you bring all those people, all those black people together, dog. Like, nobody remembers what it's looked like to have, like, nobody knows. It's like, how many of us have been in an all black tech working environment? Like, I got once. I'm blessed to be like, dog, I went to a black company. Actually, was fucking phenomenal in terms of the work culture. Like, dude, like when we went to lunch to experience like all the shit all the city had to offer. We went to, I mean, it's similar to Lamar. We went to Raoul's. We went to some Italian spot. We went to Izzo's. We also went to barbecue fucking spots.
Hell
so
yeah.
We went. Hey, do me a favor. I thought it was a speck on my thing. You got a little white.
Oh, snap!
There you go. Listen, that's how you're enjoying yourself. So back to. I need you to tell me what it was for this year.
Bro. So, like you said, it was way more techie than it was Afro. But, like, once again, I've never been in an environment where all black people, all black professionals, you know what I'm saying? I've never done that, ever.
Yeah.
Every conference I've ever done, every job I've ever had, I've been either one of one, one of two, of one of four.
Yeah.
That's just real.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking just working there. I'm talking about even working there or just level of expertise or level of position that you have.
Y'all know each other on one hand. Y'all have counted. It's yes.
Yes. All right. So with that being said, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The hack. Can I tell you what the hack is? The hack is work Afrotech, bro.
What do you mean?
Find a staffing company that's working Afrotech.
Oh, okay. I'm here.
I got to give a shout out to Fierce Staffing. Fierce Staffing, black owned, female black owner. She's amazing. Does great work. I forgot her name at the time. Sorry, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Fierce Staffing.
Mm-hmm.
Went in, the pay rate is exactly what you think it should be for the work you're about to do. Not gonna shout it out, but I'm gonna just say it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You also get interest to the Afrotech, which I think is dope. when you're not on shift. But let me tell you what I was able to do while working that I didn't think I was gonna be able to do.
I'm listening.
I was in registration. I spoke
Mm-hmm.
to everybody I registered. I found out where they were from, what they do, what they were going to do while they were out here. Was this a first, second Afro Tech? Hey, can we link up? And I connected with them in either in my digital business card or my LinkedIn.
I'm gonna tell you how I like that approach. When you told me that, I was like, bro, this dude crazy. Dog. I'm
I
not
was
gonna
crazy.
do all that. And then you were like, nah, I went out here, and then I got a chance to, like, you got a chance to go behind the scenes and see a lot of things that even me as a ticket holder wouldn't have access to. The first year I went as a vendor with my old company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was there, and I was, I was out there with him, and I was like, oh man,
How
this
was
is
that
cool.
experience? How was that experience as a vendor?
Man, it was cool. We had an after party. We came through. So I went through the first day as a vendor, and the second day I was just out there, out and about. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not a whole lot of shit that you're doing. Shit that you're doing once you've been on the other side. Um, but it, like, first day I got a chance to see people set up. I got a chance to move around. I shook hands with people who are also just working the event, and like they see you like, okay, let's touch right now. The thing that I didn't realize was on the second day and the third day where we got to exchange the event. Oh no, everybody's just networking. Everybody's like, man, I want to get to know as many of y'all as possible. Oh, you do the same thing I do. Oh yeah, we got to be friends. We got to be
Yeah.
friends. You do the same shit I do. We got to be friends. And like, oh, okay, what's that? Because, hey, I ain't seen that many of y'all around. I don't know next time I see that many around. I want to be
Thank you.
friends with everybody.
Thank you.
Like, that's real.
Like how many black mentors are you gonna be able to have? You feel what I'm saying? Like you could find so many there, bro, in so many things.
It's I think it's beautiful. That's why I say it's like I thought it was a beautiful experience, and I was like, hey man, y'all, everybody got experience. I know friends. I have friends who've gone back many times since then, and in my head, I'm like, all right, I gotta go back. I haven't been back since the first year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm coming back. I absolutely need to come back, especially because now I have people. The first year I had to go and meet a lot of people. Now, this is the part where I think is cool. And I
Mm,
keep saying, yeah, more people. I can't wait to go back. This next reel is I went the first year and I met a lot of people. This year, when I'm coming back to reconnect with people that I met in previous years. So now you're old head.
yeah.
So now you're old head. Now you're like, oh man, bet I know my folks. I'm about to be here. Now you're a mentor your second year, or mentor ish your second
Ish.
year. Yeah, and that's the shit where I'm like, yeah, I want that. I want to come back, not just as a mentor or the fact that I can say that I'm a mentor, but I love the fact that I'm coming back, knowing that like me, I was like, I told you to go, and knowing that I'm going to come back and I'm going to see other people who who I'm gonna see other people that would not have that would not have known. To be like, I told you. Like that's what happened when you was like, told you, and you were like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like right afterward, I was like, hey, bro, this is the best. I hadn't even been that whole day, and I knew this is the best time I ever had.
Can I ask you something, bro?
Sure.
All jokes aside,
Yes.
it feel like you get like you it feel a little bit like you've been robbed of like you're like, damn, white people get to experience this shit all the fucking time. Like that's the thing I think about. Like I have like the
Thought
idea
about
of
it so
knowing.
hard. I was like, bro, I was like, because let me tell you what the correlation was. The correlation was that not thinking that other races, like not other races, not black and brown, but like white people was gonna be coming to Afrotech, right?
Yeah.
They allies. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hell yeah, we need this. Like, and I feel that. But
Mm-hmm.
what made me get the correlation that you just brought up was when I see like white folks working a vendor booth, with their company with all their black and brown employees also there. I was like, that is exactly how we feel when we go to regular conferences and we got to work.
Got to put that mask on and be just fucking.
Bruh. I was like, look, man, it was just so good to I should say sometimes, and I do say sometimes because like I don't want to say we code switch. We just want to put on a good front. When you meeting a new employer, you definitely want to speak, speak well, be clear. But after I get personals done and we kind of run everybody's background, I'm like, all right, look, really, how is it over here? Like for real, you like it?
Yeah,
Like don't bullshit me.
right.
Then we get down to the real, you know what I'm saying? Which is fantastic because you would never get that anywhere else. You
Yeah, and I
always
think, yep. And I think one of the things that probably always stands out to me, and I want to stress that to me, is the fact of I feel like you do feel like a bit of a commodity there,
mhm.
and to where it's like I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna get to know you, but I am who I am. And I thought that spoke to where it's just like I felt like you asked them to your point, like, man, what's the real? How's it go? Like even where you get a chance to talk to people, it's like imagine going to work and that code switch wasn't even a thing that you did. Like you just walked in, like, man, what's happening? Man, what's good, bro? What'd you do?
It's good,
Man,
bro.
the family came over, man. We had a little cookout, we had a little such and such, right? Like, like, all right, cool. I don't have to code switch. I don't have to present like this front. Because at work, typically, not typically, but at work, you have people that can go and be like, hey man, how was your day? And you're like, bro, I don't know you like that. I'm not about to talk to you about my day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like I imagine to be able to sit down there and be like, oh man, that's crazy. Beyonce album came out. Man, what'd you do? Man, I ain't do shit but sit down and listen to, like, I ain't do nothing but listen to the new Future. That's what I did. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of my day. And they'd be like, oh, okay. And your coworker recognized that shit. Like, this is y'all. This is what y'all did today. Y'all, you sat down, you're like, all right, man, this is my what do you call it? This is how I spent my weekend. And I feel like I don't always get that. You know what I'm saying? Like where I work at now is like, hey man, what you do this weekend? I'm not about to tell you what I did this weekend because you're not gonna.
You
Yeah, I can say what I did this weekend, but it's not gonna hit the same. It's like, oh man, I went to my old college homecoming, and it was like, man, my college homecoming is different from your college homecoming. We go party, we go drink. After that, shit goes left. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I just thought I'm gonna pull that back and let's remove that part. I love the idea of being in a space where I'm not the black guy. I'm Trey.
yeah.
Like I'm just there. I'm just a face in the crowd. And my daughter has got a chance to experience that whenever we go to like Dallas, to where she's used to being a black person that just stands out. Like she's just a black, like she recognizes that she's black where she goes, right? And then she goes to, and I think this might be a better summary. She goes to she'll go to what's the name of it? She'll go to Dallas, right? We'll go to like Kidzania or some shit like that. And when we're out there, she'll notice it's like it's so many different black people there. And so she see all these different things. And so she's just a face in the crowd. And now instead of her being the standout and always being aware that she's the black kid, now she sits in and she goes, no, the white kid is the one who's in an awkward place because there's only 4 of you here. And she goes, I like this. She goes, I like it, whatever, because she feel like I'm like, that's shocking to hear her say that, but then to realize like I go to work every day and that's the same fucking space. I grew up we grew up all black. We grew up in a all black area,
We
and
did
then we had to transcend.
transcend. Actually, we had to transcend when we got jobs.
Yeah. So let me ask you some question. Did you went through and you saw some of the you went through and you saw some of the vendors, you saw some of the speaking, some of the stories.
I did a little bit of everything. The only thing I didn't get to do was something they added this year, which was the executive founders talks, which
Hmm.
was which I believe would be dope stuff, dope as hell, especially since that's what we're doing. And I'm intrigued in it, but I didn't get a chance to get over there. Only because like they was like in I think 3 or 4 different venues. Not only just the convention center, but they was at the Hilton, they was at the Fairmount, they was down the street. It was so you had to move around a lot. So the one of the things I did do, I like I said, I did go to the talks. I went to a couple talks. Didn't stay a while. Some of them I was forced to stay in because I was working, which was amazing. While working, you get to meet the speakers, which I think is dope as hell. Either
That
before
seems
or
more.
after. That is the coolest. I think like that should be put on the flyer.
I was gonna say that, dog. Technically, they paid you to get VIP access. That's the part that was crazy to me. You gave up time, but it's not like you. The way I looked at what you did, and you correct me. So, because I thought I was like, dog, you giving up time that you could be like, all right. So one, like right now, the ticket's $375, right?
Right.
$375, you get all of your time. I'm not going to speak on this range, but they paid you decently to network. And I didn't look at it like that. Like you're like, hey, bro, I'm a network. I get some back access. I get to speak to the people who are hosting it, get to network, whatever. But also, I get to interact with so many people who are you had the side where you had a registration, which you got the chance to meet the people
I got to
who
meet
were attending.
regular ones, and I didn't do speakers. Speakers was down. If I would have did that, I would have met every speaker.
Yeah, but you still got a chance, and you got a chance to speak to some of them, and kind of because of your position of I'm behind the scenes, I'm with the event. There was a kind of layer removed, and so it's like, all right, I don't have to be on because I'm talking to the behind the scenes guy. Y'all know what it is, and so even though they were already at professional level, they can just kind of, hey, can you we comfortable. And so that I wondered, was that a thing that you kind of felt like you got that extra layer removed?
I did. Like it allowed me to breach them in a way that I didn't look like a patron.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that, like, you know, you look at it. What I will say this at Afrotech, we didn't even look at the badges as down. I was like, if you here, you know what you're doing, or you know what you're going for, which I love, which is
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. And the speakers don't treat you differently. It's just that when I was working in staff and I'm actually helping them, or I'm actually helping them either get to a place, or I'm giving them information that either sound or whatever needs to give them, they are attentively listening to me. So I have their attention wholeheartedly. So once I give you the information, they're good. I pivot and be like, hey, can I ask what you do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then we go into that, like, where you from? And then once, you know, I know how to work a conversation. Soon as I get you talking about the things that you love, and I know how to plug myself in, I'm gonna find a connection. And I was able to do that. And I was getting practice with doing it over and over again because it was so many people to meet.
Man, I love that kind of that opportunity, and especially you looked at it as such. I think that I think that matters, especially that lens, especially because it was like, man, like you know who you are and what you've done in your career. But the fact
Mhm.
that you still can go, hey, look, man, this is an opportunity to network in a fashion that I would have been like, man, I want to, like, to me, I looked at it as an opportunity lost because my brain was wired to, I want to be able to move around. And it didn't occur to me that the hours opportunity. You're like, bro, I'm here. Like I was already there. I was already like, you still got to do the talks. You still got to do the thing. And so it was like, you would have spent the same amount of time there. It was like, look, I spent 4 hours doing this, watching them and whatever. I was on the clock, but it cost me 400, whereas you left with a pocket full, and you
Yep.
still left with a bunch of connections. Curse you and all those beautiful people that are hitting you up on LinkedIn. Shouldn't be me. I'm joking, dog, but nah,
It was
actually,
definitely awesome, bro. Like I can't like I'm trying to figure out, well, from my, like, I should say from my point of view, like working it and being able to move and doing it, from my point of view, I had a great time. Now I already know everybody's gonna have some grievances. Like I already know they had some pitfalls somewhere else, or some hurdles that they probably ran into. Uh that I know they're gonna be trying to fix in the next Uh
year. They got a year now to November.
yeah. So they gotta wait. Hope my computer is doing something. Very stupid.
Welcome to the world of live streaming.
Oh
I can
yeah,
hear
my
me.
shit. Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Hear me. Hang on, let me see something. I
My
got
shit
echo
just.
cancellation. Yours? That's fine. You're good. And anyway, let me tell you this. I forgot. I want to touch on this because it just happened. Right? Wait, no, I don't fully. If you had, so I need to ask you, what was the biggest bit of knowledge, advice? Let's go. Let's go with one advice, which we understand. You know what I'm saying, like, there's a cheat code in um the cheat code in working it, especially your first time. So now you know the ins and out, the backs, and now next time you go, which is funny because I did the same thing. I realized I worked my first one too with the company,
Damn.
and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And so do you learn the ins and out, the moves in the first rep? What is your second piece of advice?
Second piece to go to Afrotech.
Yeah.
Well, my first one was like try to work it. Second one is I don't. I had to tell like two students was like literally like I'll give you the story and I give you what I think the rule is. Two students was like next to me while I was talking to the UX designer at Google. Right,
Mm-hmm.
having this conversation, they sitting here but they didn't know how to interject.
Yeah.
Right, they want to be a part of the conversation, but they want to wait their turn. And I was like, no, y'all want to hear this too. I literally stopped and was like, hey, and since I'm quick with personal things, and plus you're gonna always have your ID on you. I already know how to say your names unless I ran into some Africans or whatnot, and I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. And I asked them to pronounce it, but at this point, it was just a young lady and young man, and I literally turned left or right, said their name, be like, hey, I want to introduce y'all to him. We discussing this, and this. Y'all had any questions? And included them in. And then I like literally after we had the conversation, which only lasted like 4 or 5 minutes, she was like, "Can we connect with you?" I was like, "Absolutely." She was like, do you?" I was like, "I do." I was like, "But let me give you some tips. Like, don't be afraid to interject yourself. Is you can listen to a conversation and know if you can interject or not." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
ours was a general conversation about information, right? If you wanted
Mm-hmm.
just more information, you'd be like, "Hey, you don't mind if I just listen to this to get the information?" They don't mind if you do that. I was like, the one rule I will say is if you're an introvert, you don't feel like talking to people, like this is you need to turn yourself the opposite and introduce yourself to. I introduced myself to people I was sitting next to waiting.
Can I tell you something? And I wanna add to that. Howard, you know me, and you know me. You really know me. Like, I turn
Yeah,
on for my friends. If I don't know you, please leave me alone. Like,
yes,
I'm the type of person that I've taught in my day. I talk to so many people that I sit down and I'm sitting quiet. And the weirdest part about it is let's say I go to a pub or a bar. Just so you know, I'm at a bar for food. I'm getting something to eat. And I go to the bar because I go to sit by myself and talk to no one.
mm,
I don't know what the fuck about this makes someone say, he's look like an interesting person. I want to get to know him. And so they proceed to talk to me. In my brain, and I advise anyone to do this, Beyonce will tell you she's the shyest person on earth, except when she's performing or getting ready to perform. Getting ready to perform Beyonce,
is a
not the
beast.
Beyonce when cameras are not the Beyonce when she's off stage.
Yeah,
When she's performing, also different Beyonce. She tells you she goes Sasha Fierce. I have a hybrid of Trey Stewart meets Howard fucking Hall, meets my homeboy Dimitri, meets my homeboy Izzy. Right? I don't know how to be outwardly personable. I know people who have, and I just pretend to be them. Like, I put on cosplay. I'm cosplaying Howard Hall. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how goes it? How are you? I don't know what the fuck this southern accent. Hey, yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, kind of. No problem. Y'all all right. Like, I turned into the shit because it was like, all right, do whatever. And it's just to be nice. But the thing about it is I'm not pretending to be nice. I'm trying to find a way to add comfort and also a way of channeling. It's one of those things to where it's, you know how they like to say die with a lie, or if you live a lie long enough you believe it.
yep,
If I can channel and I do the motions of happy and excitement. Eventually, I believe in happy and excitement.
That's
And the
correct.
person is as comfortable. And usually, this is what I found out. Usually, the person you're talking to or that you just introduce yourself to is as unfucking comfortable as you are. And they're like, oh, thank God somebody talked to me.
Yeah.
Somebody break the thing. And my wife let me know, like, that's how I am. Like, I won't say nothing. But then somebody will introduce himself and they just make me feel comfortable. And now they're my anchor
Yes.
to now I know someone. Now I'm relaxed. I'll come in and I'll say something. And there's some shit I picked up from you. I'll lead off with a random ass compliment. Well, it's you and D. I want to get out. Like, again, you and D are. I want y'all motherfuckers to be in the same room. Y'all don't realize how y'all work rooms is magic, bro. It seems like y'all use car salesmen, but y'all ain't selling shit. But a
We
good time.
not. But also now, I do pull from Izzy too. So don't play. I've seen him work a room, especially when it's like when it's us and it's our house party, or like it's just us and it's just our friends. The way he works a room, the way he moves. Whew,
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I subscribe to this. Never go full Izzy. You can go 2/3 Izzy. Never go full Izzy. I watch Izzy. Listen, Izzy. It's great to channel Israel. For those people who don't know, this is the coolest dude to exude confidence in a room. He walks in that bitch like he's what's the dude from Entourage? The agent.
Not Benny. It's Ari.
All right, he turns into Ari so bad, bro. He comes in and like there's this book called Assholeology that I handed to him. I was like, dog, read your biography. The
That's how you give it to him.
Because so here's the thing, I'm timid. I'm shy. I don't like to intrude on people, but there's certain things that need to be done, right? Izzy's mindset and the mindset that I took, and I went to this Afrotech, right? It's 80 people in line.
Okay.
You're going to be here for you can wait in line for 4 hours, right? You can speak to no one. Oh, you see an opportunity. Oh, I don't want to be rude. He's again, the weird part about it, he's not rude. He takes advantage of an opportunity. You might not like what he did but it's because he took care of an opportunity that you were afraid to take. Did anyone get hurt? No. Did he rob anyone? No. Did he skip the line? Yes. Why? Did he jump in front of you? Did he hold down? No, he'd be like, hey, excuse me, Bubba. Like he's a dude that go to the bar, wave $20, say, hey, I need a double shot. Set the $20 on the table. Bartender sees the $20 come in, and you're like, how dare he? But in reality, you're like,
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I need to do it. And so I'll do that shit and I'll go through. I watch Izzy walk up to people, go, hey, how you doing? Excuse me, I'm trying to move this, blah, 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 blah. Hey, how you doing? Do you mind taking a picture of us? Thank you. I appreciate you. You're good. Before you can
That's the hardest thing for me to do right there. I don't know why I can't ask for other people to take a picture of me and my wife would do it without thinking. I just can't do it. I don't know why.
Or I remember watching him do this shit and was like, okay, I'm you know me, I absorb shit. I'm like, I'm absorbing this into my workflow. He walks up to this person. I'm talking to him. He goes, blah, blah, blah. Hey, excuse me, how you doing? You look fantastic. Can you do me a favor? Can you take a picture of me and my friend? Here you go. And hands her the phone. And she's okay. Because she's like, I'm involved, whatever. And he goes, all right, cool. Yeah. Hey, by the way, pretend like we're still talking. Just don't worry about it. Just take like 4 or 5 shots while we're talking. Blah, blah, blah. Such. That's so crazy, dog. Act like you're having a good time. Say that's the funniest shit ever. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I have got involved in taking cues, and bitch, I wasn't here. And so now I'm like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Taking a photo. And he goes, all right, cool. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Oh, wait, tell you what. Just one more round, and can you tap our face? Whatever. It's fine. It was great. It's just dark in here. Blah blah blah.
More photos. That's fantastic.
Do more photos. Come here. Thank you. What's your name? You're a blessing. Thank you. And dismiss. I don't even know if she wanted to have a conversation with us. He just ended the conversation, just started whatever, and he was like, "These photos are trash. We got to find someone else." Excuse me. Grab somebody else. What the fuck is happening? I'm like, what is happening? Cool. cool, dog. Do you? And the funny thing about it is, he's better now than what he was in the back day. Because he'd be like, "Oh man, I got to take a photo of this person." Blah blah blah. Can you take a photo of me? So take a photo and be like, "What the fuck is happening? Man, that outfit was trash. I need people to see it." And you're like, "Sir, that's horrible."
That's
And
crazy.
I want to point out that as far as it goes, that person thinks that their outfit was fan fucking
Fire.
tastic.
They think they was
Fire.
on top of the game that day.
Top of the game. You know what I'm saying? And the fun and he doesn't do that shit anymore because yes, I understand problematic, but it's like you never know what the fuck was happening. Also, why I don't trust him. I'm like, hey, because he did that shit to me. He was like, man, let's take a picture. And it was like, and then I saw on Facebook, he was like, who the fuck was Nautica in 2020, 2010 or some shit like that. And I was like, you raggedy bitch.
Ooh.
You raggedy. But this is the thing. You got exposure off of his. Remember at the time before whatever, he was early influence before influence. He do a party. You want to see his albums for his captions. So technically, if even him roasting you was giving you a good look. So I don't know if you knew that person or not, or whatever. But yeah, you he tagged you. You get 5 random Facebook friends. Cool. But that was back then. Yeah,
that's true.
But like I said, I channel him. I channel you. You and your goddamn. I still understand. I want to ask because I be talking. I want to ask what the fuck goes on in your head when you decide that I'm about to introduce or make this person feel comfortable, because you'll make somebody feel like their grandmother just wipes them off their cheek. Hey baby, that's what you are. You're walking. Hey baby, how y'all doing? Everything is all right.
Well, let's put it like this. I always know that. I ain't gonna say always know. I've worked on the art of, I should say, complimenting, listening, and then pivoting in a conversation. Because the compliment is going to enter the conversation. I'm going to introduce myself, but I want you to introduce yourself. But I'm going to introduce myself to the point that I want to know what you do, or I want to know more about you than I do myself. Now, in the midst of that, I'm going to figure out, like, I'm only going to ask 3 questions. In those 3 questions, I'm going to already know how to tag that out. What I'm going to pull out, what I'm going to attach myself to, so I can go ahead and ask an in-depth question that's going to bring you, that's going to make you feel personable with me. So I'm going to ask where you're from, and where you're from is going to tell me some things. I'm pretty sure I either been to the state, or I've been to the city, or I've been close. Or I can tie it to a sports team, or I can tie it to a, it's something you're going to be, or you could tie it, like the weather thing was so easy. So I had that in a pocket. So everybody that came up to registration, that said they was from New York, Chicago, anything East Coast in the North, anything that was like super cold, because we had the cold snap. First joke was, "Are you from New York?" I apologize. The weather was the same, bro. I know you I know you wanted something different.
Yeah, easy win. Oh, you from New York? Oh, you're the reason why it's so shitty out here. You packed this shit with you,
and it breaks. It breaks that first wall. Boom, it's broken. Right. So now you're a little bit more comfortable, and then I'll be like, "Hey, I'm not even from here. Actually, I'm actually from Baton Rouge, Louisiana." Boom. Oh snap, that's a difference. Can I ask what you do? They tell me, they all proud of it. I was like, man, how you got into that? This is all while I'm printing your registration thing. I'm getting all that. And now you want personal. You don't even want to stop talking to me, but I've already gave you your stuff. And I was like, look, we can click up in the expo, man. Just give me your connect. You're going to be here 4 days. I'm going to run into you. Conversation done. They felt like they just met. Oh, man, he could help me with going play. I was like, yeah, if you just shoot me a message, I'll let you know where you need to be if you want to.
I like where you went. I like where you went with it. I like where you went with it.
Like that, I should say that script. And you could say script because you could just repeat it. If they was from the South, tell them you from the South. They was from the West Coast, be like, hey, what part of the West Coast? Oh, that's great. Did you go to the first Afrotech? No. Oh, man, this your first one? Oh, man, this is my second one. This is going to be amazing.
See, I think we'll talk about this because I definitely want. We're gonna that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start making you do your conversational pitches when you talk to people, right?
Okay.
And it goes, it's more aligned to, hey, how do you intro a conversation? How do you exit a conversation? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you had that point, it's how do you walk into a place where you're not comfortable? How do you find something? How you go about talking to people? How you go about introducing yourself? How you network? How you sell yourself if you're selling yourself? But just let's say conversation. Hey, how you doing? Oh, it's cool. Oh man, whatever. Blah blah. We can connect. And my favorite part that's the most difficult: how to fucking exit. Because when I tell you, I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'm gonna go. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, one more thing.
It's so
Yeah,
easy. It's so easy to leave a conversation, bro.
no, it's not.
Yes, it
No, it's
is.
not. I be
But
trying to leave. Can I
see,
tell you what
one,
happened to me yesterday?
bro, you already gave it a name. You gave it a name. It's called post meeting meetings. And you was like, if you got 5 minutes, that means you got 30. So you got to say you got to have 3. I thought that
Hey,
was
that
was
pisses
brilliant, bro.
that pisses me off so bad. Hey man, I see it already. It's already 12:33, and they're like, he got another 5 minutes. And if you say yeah, that means at 12:08. That means you don't have another meeting coming after this. So I don't have 8 minutes of your time. I got up
You got
to
30.
30. Because if you
Yeah.
had a meeting, you'd be like, no, I have a meeting that I'm already late for. So
Oh
that's my
God.
answer every time but in person, I got to pick up something. Let me tell you what happened yesterday. And let me see how you would have exited out of this.
Okay.
Understand, I'm socially awkward a lot of times, but I have enough personas that I like to pull from to where I make it feel like it's not socially awkward. But when I meet another socially awkward person, it's my goal to make you not feel socially awkward and make you feel okay. I want to leave the conversation, but I know if I try to exit, you're going to know why. And so I don't. Let me hear what you do. I'm at the gym yesterday,
All
right?
right.
I'm warming up. I'm like, my back is still whatever, so I'm not going heavy. So we had to do 3 sets of 8, 3 sets of 8 deadlifts. I'm like, I don't want to kill myself. So it was 135 on the bar. I'm like, all right, that I need to at least feel it. So I put 225, whatever, right? So I'm doing the 225, I'm doing the slow control, whatever. Then we had to go to squats. And I'm like, I'm not lifting heavy, but I do 135 just because I'm like, I know this is whatever. And so, mind you, in this gym, there are a lot more cardio people than strength. So I'm the strongest person there, right? I'm just giving the lay of the land. I'm not trying to toot my home, whatever.
Hey, look.
This lady comes over, and so she needs to break the ice, but she wants to break the ice in a way, whatever. And she goes, "Hey, how you doing? I'm pleasure. My nice to meet you. I just want you to know, I love big strong dudes." And everybody just kind of looked, and they're like, uh, in my, I'm like, and she goes, "No." I said, "I get what you meant. I understand how funny it sounds, but I get what you meant." So she's like, okay. So I'm making it comfortable to her, but I need to get back to these squats.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to her, so like, let her know I'm not offended. I'm not creeped out. I am creeped out, but I'm not creeped out because I know where she went. She wasn't even like, I'm interested in dudes. Like
Yeah.
she
She was
has a
like,
whole
I
life.
like watching, I like seeing big, strong men. I just
Well,
wanted to
she
tell
was
you.
like, yeah, because I've been there where I saw somebody was like, I want to get them props on lifting heavy. Like, bro, you are like, dog, that's crazy. That's an insane weight. You're a
Yeah.
real one. Like, I do that. She didn't know how to convey that. And so she was like, but I needed to lead this conversation, but I didn't know how to just exit. Like, yeah, it's cool, no problem. Let me get back to these weights. Right. And so like another lady came in and she interjected, but she made it awkward. He's already behind. I'm already past him. I'm so far ahead of him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ma'am, this is my first time meeting this lady. Please. I think she felt like she was rescuing me, but I'm like, you just made it awkward.
You just made
And
it
so now
worse.
I got to diffuse that she's not bothering me. She is bothering me. But now you made it
Worse.
how do
You made it
yeah.
like a focus of the bother.
So now I gotta listen to her tell me her life story just to make it not fucking awkward. So how do you go? How do you exit out of that, Howard? Hey,
Very easy.
Howard,
Very
I
easy.
like big.
You
Which part are
handle
you
both
asking
of them.
now?
You handle both of them at the same time. Hey, the greatest compliment I ever had today, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for that, man. I know you far ahead, but I'm gonna get back to it. Let me lock in for a second. Y'all can either talk, but I can holler at y'all later. I'm gonna just lock in. I'm
I'm gonna tell
gone.
you this. I do also want to point out mentally, she pissed me off when she said that I'm far ahead. Because motherfucker, let me find out. I want you to know who finished first. This guy. Because I didn't know it. I was doing supersets. She was doing 3 rounds. And so actually I was ahead. I didn't
I
know
hate.
that.
Oh
So
wow.
I was like, so I finished ahead, but that's not here or there. My thing was, I was like, man, please don't make my first encounter with this person who's already feeling a little self-confident, awkward. And
Yeah.
so she came through. She was just like, I was like, please don't. So I talked to her. I was like, but I am about to get back to doing the squats. And I was
Yeah.
like, pleasure meeting you. Went back to doing.
Hey, did you have these in?
No, it was at a workout class. I typically don't have them in because I don't want to talk to people, but I want to hear. I want to hear
Okay.
shit. I'll be honest with you. It's weird. I don't wear them in case I want to hit this person, but I don't want to talk to people because y'all don't realize I have a dynamic situation with these weights. These weights just called me a name, and I got to go see about them. And so I only want to talk to people because I got to go show this weight
Gotta go
who's
show this
what.
weight what's up right quick.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't be wanting to talk to nobody. I'll see you after I get done with this shit because they call me a bitch. I got to see about it. Now,
Yeah.
hey, so I do want to point out I'm working on 2 different things.
At same
I'm
damn.
working on host. I'm
Yes.
working doing the host work, but I'm also starting work on the kids trivia shit. And so I was
Uh-oh.
going to Figma and I was going through the community, seeing what works they're using, whatever. I saw this actual color scheme and this nice idea that is my best. Let me share my screen. I saw this idea that's going to
I had to
be my.
drop a couple of my goddamn web browsers, man. I think that's what was clogging up my stuff.
You say your web browser?
I had so many tabs open, bro. So I had to
Oh,
close some tabs, like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I was
So
like,
listen, I realized that this might be part of LSU. My love for LSU. I love the look, the color scheme.
yeah,
I
all right.
love the color scheme. I am there now. I want to give props to the person who created this. Not this one. You suck. I'm sorry. I mean it like that, but
Yeah,
that
you
came
kind
out.
of did. You kind of did. You kind of did.
So Eric Santos. I want to give shout out to Eric Santos and
Big shout out to him.
UIK's Trivia case, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how his thing was going to work. So I'm assuming it was a website. But
Hmm.
what does 27 mean? Is this the points that he got? No, because 0. So I'm not clear.
Oh,
But
that's how many seconds you got left, bro. Because it's a time thing on top of it.
Well, you have the timer here, or is this progress?
That might be progress.
So one thing that I liked is I definitely feel like timer would be on this side. This would be my timer, not how many questions I have, but that might work for questions, right? But I'm only gonna have like five per section, right?
Right.
I
Okay.
do love to where I can give my question, do the question, like question, couple seconds for answers,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, reveal the answer, right? Like this is what the answer, then move on, and then move on, and then move on. One of the things that my that they love is they love so let me back up.
Yep.
One of my I'm gonna take this off for a second, right? So to bring up to date, my kids didn't get in the car. They get iPads. They take their iPads and they work on their iPad. My daughter on her iPhone. I didn't like that, especially as much time we're in the car. I don't feel like I'm in the car. I already don't get to talk to my kids a lot during the week because they're at school. I'm at work. So I try to utilize the car ride as family time. So I
Okay.
found this kids trivia show, right? They are sunsetting they're sunsetting. They're no longer doing it. My daughter heard it and she got a little sad. My son heard it. He didn't understand what's going on. And then my daughter explained to him that this is the last giving. He went, oh man. My wife, who's been in the car with us, I told her that I found this show and the kids love it. We get in the car, they go, can you put on kids trivia? And I mean, I'll put it on. Like my daughter would be playing on her phone. My son would be on his thing, and all of a sudden you hear the backseat go quiet, and all of a sudden you hear rabbit, or they're like they're
Answers.
trying to guess. They're tuned in, and so they stop listening to the show because they're tuned in. And so sometimes I'll just yell it when I know it, and they're like, "Yeah, it's that." And so if I give them the answer and they say the answer, we in the car got the answer right.
Yep.
So my wife got in the car with us and she was listening to the radio, whatever. And my daughter goes, can you put on kids trivia? And so I put on kids trivia. Right. And so I put on kids trivia for the kids. So I put on kids trivia for the kids. My camera come back in.
Yeah.
So I put on kids trivia for the kids, and she got into it as well. And so she was like, how much stuff does she know and that she doesn't know? And it turned into a family who's smarter than a fifth grader, where our whole goal was to do
Was
that.
to beat the trick. Yeah.
So fast forward, we are loving the show. Now they're sunsetting. So now they're like kind of worried about what they're going to do. And so since they know they're sunsetting, my daughter kind of starts leaning back to her phone. And there's this little weird feeling. And then my daughter goes to Kidzania and she tries the Spotify. They have a booth where she can do Spotify, where she can try a podcast. So she's like, I really like that. And I asked her, and so later on, I asked my daughter, she was like, I like to. She's like, I kind of like doing a podcast, Dad. My whole setup. She's like, I like to see if I can do that, blah, blah, blah. And I look and I go, would you be interested in doing your own kids trivia?
You'll be
And she
pitching it
looks at it and she goes,
like
absolutely,
you be interested.
motherfucking yes. And like if my daughter went, yes, nigga, motherfucking right.
I've
You
been
right.
waiting.
Right. Kids
Why didn't
can't
you ask me
fucking
earlier,
wait.
Pop?
Right. Right. Like I said, that's how kids speak. You fucking right. So I go, all right, cool. And so she's ready to turn up. Now, the thing that I want you to keep in mind, you remember I keep telling you about personas, and you have the person that you come on. You've heard my daughter speak in the car. Hey, how are you? You're the only person that is not part of the family that's not part of my family that got seen 100% real Chloe. I've seen it. You saw what happens when also you saw alter ego Chloe. When she got on the camera and she saw your kids, she turned to a different person.
She turned it on, bro.
I've seen her enough to know I'm like, all right, you're gonna kill this shit. You're gonna absolutely kill it. And she gets comfortable. She hates photos, she loves video. And so I saw her and my son get on camera. And they had to do the weather. And my daughter improv the fuck out of it. It was just fantastic.
That's just like just hearing that is funny. So, but.
Yeah, and so she was like trying to read whatever. And so eventually I do some green screen shut up where I'm like, I'm gonna let her improv and just kind of like work through a scenario with me. And it's like a little kid improv group. My son jumped in on the improv, and I'm never going to forget. It's gonna be 98 degrees in El Paco. And I was like, holy fuck, that shit. Even though he didn't know what El Paso or degrees were, the fact that he was like, bro, listen, I know my words. But I said that to say, I told them that I'd help them build, that I'd build their streaming setup. But I also asked my wife, I was like, you're interested in doing this. You have a softer touch than me. Would you be comfortable running this if I set it up running this with the kids? And so she said, yeah. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to remove myself from the family function. From the function, I just know that I'm technical, but also my perfectionism will get in the way. versus letting them have fun. She's legitimately a have fun person. I'm a hang on, like, let me take my shots before I do this with the kids. Right. And be like, Dad, you smell like tequila. It's just not a right way to start off a kid podcast.
First of all, I would be intrigued. I don't know about that. You got to say what your goal is first. Like if your goal is
Yeah.
trying to grab a listener, you didn't grab some listeners with that one.
Yeah. And the thing about it is I'm willing to go down a dark tunnel with my kids. My wife will go down any tunnel with the kids. In fact, she'll egg them on. And
To
I'm
go
just like,
down a tunnel, yeah, that's crazy.
yeah. Yeah. And so my thing is just like I don't have that from the jump. And so it's like, all right, cool. You let me build it, you go with it. I still would participate and I still run the boards and I still would do some of the work. But I was like, man, we're gonna end up doing that. So long-winded back to kind of this whole little setup. I am, damn it, I wish I did it. I could have put it in. So what I'm looking at is where are the elements and what are some things that could help me bring together. I think now, mind you, this is going to be an interactive kind of game show. I must first start off in StreamYard and then transition. So if you can imagine, the all three will be on this side. We'll be on this side. I don't think I'd move it to this way. You know what I'm saying? Like this, because I feel like I would like them to either do this, and eventually we can evolve it to having guests who are competing, right? That might be a later, but the first one is just going to be I like to think a visual podcast where they have their conversations, but this left panel, and if I may just kind of give an example. Wait, can I do it here? Let me go back.
Is it prototyped out?
Oh, this is time. No, I don't think he did a let me see. Let us see.
Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. All right, let's see. I didn't even know he did that. All right, let's see. Okay. I want to fit the screen. Fill screen? Okay. All right. Fill screen, right? So let's say they come through. So yeah, it's not a full thing. Yeah, but so let's say they come through and they pick out. Oh, you're right. It is a.
It shows that you got more questions to go. It's not a timer. But
Yeah.
it could be a timer. I would rather it be a timer.
Yeah. So the reason I'd rather be a timer is I'd rather show the question than the answers. And then after the timer ends, show what it was right. Right. And so what I'm going to end up trying to do with this is I want to create something that they can record, and they just record they can record. I can edit in script. They can go in, and the weird part about it is like I would be the one who like let's say I did the trivia and the mom, or not the mom, but like my wife would be the one who's like reading it and what do you think the answer is and blah blah blah, right? And they can go true or false, right. Give them an option, given the option that they can pick. I do want to do this one where they have an option to pick as opposed to just guessing to see if they know. Because you remember Carmen Sandiego, the show?
Hell yeah.
So Carmen Sandiego was hard as fuck.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. But you want to know what I realized with Carmen Sandiego? They always gave them an answer to choose from so that even if they didn't know the answer, they could pick one.
True.
So they could pick one. So they could be wrong or right. They never had to explain. And so it gave them a.
And it was like they was introducing like educated guesses. Like take a good shot.
Right. And so you can do this and then put a little known fact underneath. And so where it's like the kids they're learning together, but also you don't need to see that. I mean, visually, if you can explain, if she can read this and the options on the board and then the timer, and then what do you think it is? bam, and then we just go through that part. That also works in Spotify, and I want to have this kind of thing so that it's time box. I don't have to do too much editing. The kids can have fun, and then when it's over, and then because it's a family thing, it's just did you know, and after that you'll be a win. Now, one thing that I liked in there was we've gone through so many episodes. Ask me how many times we kept score. None. If you No, if you want to keep score, you can, but it's just more about the trivia side. Who wants it? These are questions. Who can know these questions? How many of these questions do you know? And was it a fun time? And the craziest part about that goddamn show?
Well,
that shit has helped me in real world. Like I've gone, like my thing did an icebreaker where they started asking some of the same trivia. What is the highest rated the most watched Netflix show of all time? And everybody was like, oh, it's got to be Orange is the New Black. It's got to be. And I go, Squid Games.
Squid Games.
Like Squid Games. And they were like, oh, well, no, we don't think it's Squid. I said, it's Squid Games.
Squid Games.
I know. And they go, and so I forgot what they picked. They picked something else. Oh, Friends. They picked Friends.
On Netflix?
They're like, people watch Friends. I said, it's Squid Games. And then they go, Squid Games. And I go, I just, all I do is listen to kids trivia with my kids. These are questions that we have. And so I answer those shits. But also they used to open up the show with jokes. And so you know what I open up meetings with? The jokes from the goddamn show.
Boom.
And so I was like, it was just a good time. And so my thing is I want to create a good time for my family. I don't want to steal the lady's idea. I want to make sure, but I do want to give credence and say, I'm inspired by her thing, but also it's like, this is just another layer of adding family time. The next iteration is going to be, if I stream this, right? I'm going to create a streaming version, but then also I'm going to create a streaming version, but I'm also going to create a version or a plugin that allow you to play the game at home while I'm doing this. So while I'm doing this, let's say I put a link in the chat, and now with the link in the chat, you just go in and you can just fill it out as your own. Either A, while I'm recording, or B, while it goes on. Now you can't do anything. It's not going to do anything for me. You're not going to send it to me, but it'll allow you to play along at home. And so that'd be the next iteration. First iteration is wiring this shit up so that that the timer's just going and they just read. Like I don't even want them to try to have to click a button to go through. Like it'll go through rounds and it'll go through rounds and it'll go through rounds. Next thing, or the next iteration, I want to be able to create a competition to where you can bring one to two kids on, and those 1 to 2 kids could, in theory, just play. Yeah. And I listen, I miss the PBS era where you have kids.
PBS era was all, like, look, they were all about, first of all, children's development. First of all, like when you think about this, even when you asked me about Carmen Sandiego, you got to understand, you got to put Ghost Rider in there too, because they was coupled together.
Yeah. And so my thing is, I want to bring all that in there, and when you can bring that up. Hang on.
Now I gotta think about it. What did Ghost Rider do that was so?
Ghost Rider was a show, not necessarily a game show. I don't think. Like you had to watch the whole show and figure out the clues, and like they did a good job of figuring out clues. I'm gonna tell you this. This is a thing. Like I remember growing up, and I remember making it all the difference in the world. And in today's society, I have no idea why they don't do it as much or do it anymore. They used to have a call-in show. Where, do you remember that? Where you had the math call-in show? They introduced it. You were in the school when I was in school, so
remember it too.
You had a math problem. There was a tutor online. You will call in, tell them your name, the math book you were using, and the problem you needed to solve. And they call you back. Can I speak to Leon? Yes. And it'd be them with you on the speaker, and they work the problem out with you on television live. And they work out
Damn.
the problem. You understand? I thought that was so fantastic. I'm like, why don't we do that anymore? Because you got Zoom, dog. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link. You can do a Zoom link. You have a problem, let me know. Pay. And then so they go get the book, they get the page, they put the problem on the board, they call, make sure it was you, talk to you, whatever. The idea of okay. They call, they put the problem on, and they tell you what the problem is, and you go to solve the problem. And then you go, okay. Then you saw, and then y'all work the problem out. You go, okay, cool, and they go to the next one.
Dang, I didn't know. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't catch that.
And so I remember seeing it. I remember a lot of stuff, and I'm like, man, my kids don't understand with it. But I'm like, what does that look like today? Now, mind you, I can't do that one, but I can imagine like somebody having a Twitch where that's all they do, or have whatever. And I as much as I like teaching design, I do like the idea of having these educational problems.
Mm.
And so that's why I look to solve.
Okay, shit. Press,
Like,
press the last button in this prototype. Let's see what happens.
oh, wait. I hate the fact that I'm not even reading these shits. It's just like you got. Now, mind you, I'm not going to necessarily try to keep track.
No, it's mostly like just produce question, produce answer.
Yeah. And so my thing is I want to make sure like timer, like I could like, because this is old presentation. I want to give him they so I can what I would say, I can create this. I can make the timer work. I might change. I absolutely would change how I present the 5. I probably show the category, and I do all those different things. Like I outline the category. Like I'd probably do it like again. It had to be in a show format. I got to make sure that it moves a little bit more fluid and just some animation cues. But you know what I'm saying? Like I like the idea that my wife and my kids would show up to this thing completely clueless. I like to know, like, I created a nugget for them, and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to do this. And I know that I can come in, I can import the questions and hear where it comes, and that they know, like, they would spend an hour, 2 hours just playing with this. And then from there, I give my wife, like, I set her over the script so that she can edit, that she can chop it up as so she be, give her the intro music, give her the exit out. And so that so she can have that information, and from there she can kind of go she can go and what I'm say she can go and give it to them. I can take it, rip it apart. This goes to Spotify, this goes to the streaming platforms, this goes to this goes to Twitch or stream or YouTube. And I probably wouldn't even stream the first few episodes. I probably just straight up give them
Yeah.
give this or that. And so here's my favorite thing about this, right? You know me, I like to reuse, but also I'm family oriented, right?
Well,
I can see me doing this. I can see the prototype being something that people can use at home, but use at home and their own, like playing with their family. Just they can just let it run. They go to the website, they can just play with their family without us, right? Where they think the answer is and who they think they watch it, which they can do it at YouTube with our kids, with my kids being there, so they don't feel like it's them just guessing by themselves. But the way I look at this is I like to create something that is a remember, we're Black by Design family. I got kids. you got kids, you got grandkids. So just like I love how my wife and kids would be doing this, and then the episode could be you and your wife with the grandbabies doing this, and be like, hey y'all see what's happening. And it's not just that. I like the idea of families coming in, and it's different
And speaking of
personalities.
that, it is my grandbaby's China's birthday today, which is wild.
Did your birthday crunk this baby yet?
Well, yeah, she's been birthday crunked. I ain't gonna be able to do it this year, but they will get it when they turn teens too.
I said, did you
Surpassing.
call and do a
It was
birthday call crunk?
yeah. Oh, most definitely. I called it. Well, wifey called it at 12:50 last night. I called it. She called back at 6:30 this morning. I missed both of them. So
Nah, don't hang on. I gotta do me a favor. Hold on. Let me see something.
no, do you think?
Oh, it is back. Okay. All right, there we go. Hang on.
No, no.
All right, so sorry, I had to respond to my sister, but no, I let me now. I want to say I like where they went, and I want to stress that from where I sit, like I like seeing what people have done, because knowing what people have done, um, knowing what people have done gives me an opportunity to see, like, oh man, I like this, I like that. Wait, let me see if I can try trivia games. I forgot what I searched that. Okay, must be trivia game. Let's see what quiz game looks like. Success student what? Success student exercise. Okay.
Oh snap, brother.
So yeah, I can look at it and see how they do things. And so let me see. Jugora.
You already know what I put on.
Wait. Oh, see, this is the thing that with the new variant, or the new component, not the new components, the new prototyping options, you can
Yeah.
turn this to an if then statement, so that instead of you can select one. But so what happens if select two? And that's where it becomes an issue. So what happens? So if I
Yeah,
don't
it's kinda
select
weird.
this, oh, it just shows the same thing regardless.
Oh, okay. So it shows the ones you select in green, the ones you did in red.
Yeah. So again, I like the idea of showing it. I like showing what people get right. Showing what got right. Like I said, the ultimate thing here is and the thing that I took away from when we were doing these exercises were, we didn't know it, we learned it, and we used it. It's interesting. So like little random facts. Did you know that? I didn't know. I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
You
Who
know?
you never knew. But
And so it's like, it's a bunch of cool stuff. Like if you don't know the answer, you just kind of get, it's like Jeopardy, or like one of those other things. Like nobody watched that. But I shouldn't say nobody, but most of us don't watch Jeopardy to know if we know um uh France world history, right? But we find out some random shit. Oh, okay, cool. I know so much random shit. Do you know which, true or false, sound travels faster in air than water?
real.
False.
What? Well, no, I know it travels faster than
Sound
water.
travel sound travels faster than water. But you know who knew that? My
Who?
daughter, because she be paying attention to shit in school.
Mm.
Uh, true or false? No, I forgot what it was. This fruit shares 75% of the same DNA as humans. A banana. Yeah, I knew that because my dog, that podcast. It's so much random shit and random stuff that I knew. And I'm like, all right, cool. I want to do this for my family. And so, yeah, I'm going to build that. So, in addition to host, these are going to be my two priorities. Destiny is going to have to understand that I'm not going to be able to do everything I need to do. I do want you and your kids to, when the next time grandbabies coming through?
They probably might be Thanksgiving. Maybe.
All right. Well, I'll probably have this built before then because it's gonna be very streamlined, very basic. I'm gonna end up I have to wire the the questions, the answers, timer, and just let that be the pieces that I line up.
Are you
And
gonna
so those
trying to animate that time, or you just want to do a
yeah,
countdown?
I'm gonna animate the hell out of it so they can see how it goes. So I want to animate the timer so they can see how it goes, how it shows the right answer. Um, I want to make this shit as great as possible. You know what I'm saying? This is as fun as possible for them. Now, if they find themselves, the thing that I want is I want them to still keep engaged. And I think my wife can do that by asking them which questions do they think. Even sometimes it's process of elimination. Like you remember, and I remember this, once you want to keep in mind that you remember Dora and Blue's Clues. They don't just tell, sometimes they don't just tell you you're wrong. They just kind of go by the steps. And you don't feel wrong for not knowing the answer. And it's going to have to be some of that. Yeah. And so it's going to be, now mind you, the questions are going to be simple as shit. It's going to be pop culture based shit. Like, stuff that I don't know that my kids know. It's like, all right, man, what's the name of the, like, I watched Hocus Pocus, right? You watched Hocus Pocus growing up?
I've seen the first one.
What's the name? Like, what's the name of the sisters?
Oh Jesus!
What's their last name? What's the name?
I don't know
what? Sanders sisters. My daughter knew that shit immediately. Yeah, there's stuff that they know because they're fresh in their head, but she watches that stuff, and I was like, what the fuck? I've seen that movie way more than she has. But like, you realize your kids are gonna be smarter than you, and it's their job to be smarter than you. The questions are gonna be relevant.
That's true. Damn.
So I can't wait to build it. I can't wait to have you help me build it because you helping me build it, motherfucker. Because there's no way on earth that you see me do this and you don't think, man, I'm gonna have fun as hell. Like this, all of a sudden, is now going to be a fantastically fun Thanksgiving. Like imagine you pull this out Thanksgiving dinner. You just have it. It's you and the family. You got that on the big screen, and it's just going.
That's crazy. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, but then also when they come by the house, y'all want to do this, back? We're gonna do this. Y'all can have the same mic, y'all can have the same camera, y'all can do whatever. It's just play it. Y'all can play it at home, y'all can do whatever. I'm gonna end up getting another setup so like Shavita has a mic and the kids have a mic, just because I don't want them all huddled together.
Bro, if you could do a family one, like when your family come over, like your mom and dad, your sister, and all them stuff over, and it's a trivia about just the fam, like who did this, and you'd be like, I think dad did that, and be like, nah, that was granddad, like that.
Now you can absolutely modify this and take this and do that, and to do that. I'd be an asshole though. I'm like, who still owes me $20 from 1997 when grandma gave him $20 that they said they were gonna hold for me. My mom. There you go. Like, yeah, I still want that goddamn money. Like, I know grandma gave it to you. You told me you spent it, told me that it went to pay for some shit that I ain't asked for. I want my $20. All right, man. Oh boy. All right. Look, it's been fun. I am about to mad dash because I actually need to call my sister back because she was blowing my shit up. I'm gonna play around with this shit some more, man. I appreciate you for bothering me. I'll probably be back on later on because I want to continue that thought session what we were doing with host. They don't know what that is, but it's just when we were just lining up some of the priorities and kind of like I think one of the things that we were doing is a lot of we always think of pie in the sky and we never want to focus in, But I think it's important when we focus in before we build something, because there's a lot of ideas on the table, and we always need to find who we're going to build for and what we're going to build. Because otherwise, one idea could come in, one idea could leave, and one idea could, and you end up having this amalgamation of a feature, but never assign it to a person. Like, who would use this feature? Who's going to use this shit? Right? And there becomes like, again, he built a whole goddamn design studio. And I said, who the fuck is going to use this? And he was like, and I remember asking, I said, dog, you realize Canva exists. You have to build something you're building something that's more complicated than Canva. So you know what that means? I'm going to close this. I'm going to use Canva. Now, let's take a moment to realize this motherfucker built a Canva. That's cold. However, do me a favor. We have a Canva. We don't need this. Unless you're trying to be a competitor for Canva, import a Canva file. Or just import the product of a Canva file. So I remember explaining that shit to him. But you know what I'm saying? It's because we had to say, all right, here are 3 user bases. Which one of these user bases going to do it? You're not going to give it to the first one because it's going to cost you money to build and operate this. That guy's not going to pay for it. This person can pay for it, but they wouldn't show as fuck when use it. This is too complicated for them to use it. That person can afford a graphic designer, so they're going to pay somebody else to do it. So they're not going to waste their time in this. So who's this for?
That's true. That's real too. Because if you like, then you just building a build. Like, you'll be in build purgatory if you're not choosing who you build for. So and that's the kind of way it was stuck. When you want to get him on the line so we can all be on at the same time, you think he got free this week?
He better find some free fucking time this week. Just it came out way more aggressive than I meant.
It came out aggressive as hell.
It's just like, man, we just gotta lock all this shit in. But I do want to. I'm gonna touch base with him, but I'm like, dog, you gotta hop in this shit. Shit, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna bother him and see. I'm gonna text him and see. But I talked about linking up this week, so he definitely gonna have some space this week at least.
You're gonna have to.
So
hey, look, I got interviews Wednesday and Thursday, so
congratulations, boss man. It's gonna be weird when you be like, yeah, man, I somehow became a director, and I'm like, makes sense.
That looks like the trajectory that we was on.
It made sense. It was like, yeah, I was talking to this guy in line, told him what I did, and he was just like, whatever. We went in the meeting. And then he was like, oh, you know your shit. Yeah. And you're a people person too. Oh, you did TED Talk? This might be beneath you. How would you like to talk about equity? You're like,
what are you talking about? Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. Look, you gotta put on you gotta find some glasses you didn't even have. You just start making glasses.
What are we saying now?
Let me put on my spectacles. Yes.
Let me see.
All right. Okay. All right, man. Well, look, I'm about to go because I'm going to get ready for this thing. But yeah, we definitely will be doing that. But also, I appreciate you for making time again. But
also, let you know, we stream for over 2 hours a day. Bang, boom, pow.
Yeah. Oh wow, we did.
We streamed an hour. We streamed an hour early this morning.
Yeah, we're living. All right, man.
Yep.
I'll see you later. Please.